Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Closer.
Learn, learn, learn.
Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house.
Get it together.
Rabbits in the house.
Let's get it together.
Rabbits in the house.
Get it together.
Rabbits in the house.
Come on, get it together.
Rabbits in the house. 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 Rabbits
You better
in the
get it
house.
together. We gon' get it together.
Rabbits in the house. Rabbits
Get
in
it
the
together.
house. Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house.
Get it together.
Rabbits in the house. Rabbits
You
in
better
the
get it
house.
together. We gon' get it together.
Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house.
Get together.
Rabbits in the house.
Learn,
Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Closer.
learn, learn, learn.
Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house.
Let's get it together.
Rabbits in the house.
Get it together.
Rabbits in the house.
Let's get it together.
Rabbits in the house.
Get it together.
Rabbits in the house.
Come on, get it together.
Rabbits in the house. 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 Rabbits
You
in
better
the
get
house.
together. We gon' get it together.
Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house.
Get together.
Rabbits in the house.
Learn.
Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Closer.
Learn. Learn.
Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house. Rabbits in the house.
Let's get it together.
Rabbits in the house.
Get it together.
Rabbits in the house.
Let's get it together.
Rabbits in the house.
Get it together.
Rabbits in the house.
Come on, get it together.
Rabbits in the house. 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 Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat, man. Wabbits in the house. Wabbits is in the house. Um, oh, hold on one second. Let me make some adjustments here. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Let me make some adjustments here real quick. Oh, and I'm rocking out. All right. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right. That's me. I'll make sure I can see me. All right, man. We are off to another one. An- We are off to another one. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for coming through. We are doing another uh, Dalton, the village of Dalton, catching up, catching up live. Today we are in 2021, November. We are in November of 2021. Tiffany Henyard's first year of being mayor, her first 6 months actually. We've been watching it, watching these special board meetings and regular board meetings, and we've been getting an idea of what's been happening amongst the trustees and the mayor. It's been very interesting. We've seen faults on both sides, and as we continue, we will definitely get full understanding of how did we get here. Here, how did we get to where we are? So in today's meeting, today's meeting will take place on November 5th of 2021. The last meeting we saw was November 1st of 2021. So the last meeting that we saw in our last live stream was of November 1st. And if we remember correctly, there was supposed to be an emergency meeting or a special meeting called for something. I forgot exactly what it was, but this seems like this is it. Uh, the one we saw last week was on the 1st of November. This one is 4 days later, November 5th. So this is a special board meeting. Yep, special. And it's about an hour and 20 minutes, 25 minutes long. So shouldn't take up much of our time. And then I will see you guys tomorrow, and we'll get to the next one. Let me see what do we got coming up. So the next meeting, what we will be covering tomorrow is actually December 6th. So a whole month later is when they did the next board meeting. So let me say what's up to the people. Shout out to everybody who got memberships in this chat. Appreciate y'all. Unfuckwithable. All that remains. Iceberg Thoughts. Mrs. Baker. Highly favored. KTC. Ghostface Killer. TP the Perspective. Uncle L. Miss Eve. Just J. Brandon's Bodyguard. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat, man. We are going to get to this board meeting. Let me cue it up. Let me get it ready. Let me get it ready. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Let me move myself. Let me move myself. Yvonne May. Shout out to Yvonne May. Let me move myself. And ladies and gentlemen, please check out the We the Wabbit store. We got merch over there, and that's one way to support the channel. We got memberships, merch, all type of stuff, man. Because we got business. We got business. And please hit the like button if you haven't already. We got WabbitBot on deck. Emojis, or memes, I should say. Memes is available for the people to use. I will be adding some new memes and more memes. Not so much sound effects and stuff, just mainly memes. So we'll have a good collection of memes on this channel. On this channel. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. So we're gonna get this started. We are gonna get this started. Waiting on two people to hit the like button. Just two. I'm waiting on just two people to hit the like button. If you two don't mind just hitting that like. Shout out to the chat, man. All right. All right. Without any further ado, do remember, please sub up to the WCN2 channel. That's my Wabbit Crime Network 2. I also have a Wabbit Crime Network channel. Sub up to the WCN2 channel if you want to be up to date on the Sarah Boone trial, the suitcase murder trial. That will be covered. I'll be going over that trial on the main on WCN Network 2. Make sure you guys check out that channel if you haven't already. WCN2. We will be doing the live coverage of the Sarah Boone trial, which has been postponed till next Monday. So, coming up Monday, expect to see some of you true crime watchers over there in that WCN2 as we go over that Sarah Boone trial. Interesting. Kenwood Speaker. Yeah, pretty interesting. Now, we're going to let this rock out for a few minutes.
All right, Madam Mayor, we are live.
All right, thank you so much. Good evening, residents, Board of Trustees, and department heads. Today, I'd like to call to order the special board meeting via Zoom, live stream on YouTube, Friday, November 5th at 5:30 p.m. Clerk Key, can you call the roll?
Okay, it's 5:40 p.m., sure. Trustee Holmes? I know I saw. Holmes, you're muted.
Here.
Trustee Norwood?
Present.
Trustee Steve?
Present.
Trustee Belcher?
Here.
Trustee House?
Here.
And Trustee Brown?
Present.
We
All
have
right.
a quorum.
We got a quorum.
All right, thank you. Next, if everyone will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of United States
United States of America,
and to the
to the
republic
republic,
and
which stands
One
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty,
with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Next, if you would like to leave us in prayer, Trustee Steve.
Everyone bow your heads. In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful God, thank you for blessing us with another day of life. Thank you for blessing us to come together to try to do the best in the will of the people. God, protect over all of us, all our families, all our loved ones, and all our health. We ask this in the name of all your righteous servants. Amen.
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 If everyone will mute their phones until you're speaking. Thank you. I just want to announce again that if any resident that is watching this would like to communicate with the board, can you please send an email to communications@vodalton.org. Again, that is communications@vodalton.org. Next, we have, anybody have any general announcements?
Mayor, if I could be recognized.
Sure, go ahead, trustee.
Okay, on that point of the communications, I know we had some debate before, and I think my stance would still be the same. They're still concerned about the Open Meetings Act and wanting the residents to have access to the chat at a minimum, since we don't have access to present and communicate with the board. So I'm asking if we can reinstate the chat. I mean, if you want to have them vodalton.org as well, it's fine. But I'm asking so that we can move forward with the meeting, if that function can be reinstated for the residents in the community.
Okay, so at this time, trustee, we're gonna do it through the email chat. There's nothing illegal about what I've done as relates to communicating through the email. I have not violated any Open Meetings Act. And then also that every residents are being heard by communicating through the email chat. All I'm trying to do is make sure that we get through our meeting in a timely fashion without all the back and forth or all the issues. I just want to go along with the agenda and move forward. Right now, advising the Board of Trustees, we need to pay the bills. By you guys grandstanding the last meeting and not paying the bills, a lot of important things did not get taken care of. So I'm asking that we move forward, and the residents will be heard as always, but it's just through the email process.
Well, so then to that point, I'm in disagreement. So I'll renew my ask. If not, then I would say that I would suggest as a board that we adjourn again, and the board will call a special in-person meeting next week, because we recognize that the bills do have to get paid and all these issues have to be resolved. The residents, I feel that we've already given them distance by having the Zoom format. And then we further not answered. I mean, it was supposed to be going through the chat function and put on the website. The last time the website was updated is in August 30th. So I'll ask again if we can do that. If not, well, then I would say that I would say we're going to want a motion to adjourn the meeting till next week. We'll post a special meeting for in person, so that way this will no longer be an issue. I believe this is a simple enough issue that you have the authority to make the difference, but if you choose not to, I guess that's your prerogative.
Yes, it is. So with that being said, I am not for the chat. I don't appreciate you guys constantly counseling meetings because you don't have it your way. And I'm stating that we are being able to communicate with residents by communicating through the email chat. As relates to in-person meetings, I already stated that I was working on that, and just like everyone up here knows, that Village Hall is being remodeled. So we're not doing in-person meetings until the beginning of next year. If anybody will call me to find out what my plans are or what it is that I'm doing, that would have been helpful. So you guys want to do the chat? We can do the chat today. You know what? This is showing me compromise. We could do the chat today.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, Ontario. They want the chat. Let them have the chat. So Ontario, read all the email questions into record. But go ahead. They want the chat. Go ahead with the drama.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
There's nothing but drama. So, and thank y'all for pointing out that a lot of trustees are trolls as it relates to the chat.
I mean, notice how the trustees would love to kick this down the road. Bills got to be paid. This ain't a business to them. The only person that think this is a business is Tiffany. It's a bunch of nonsense going on. First of all, the people in the chat are trolling on behalf of the trustee. Man, we're not even gonna get to it. All right, let me press play.
Because I didn't understand why that was so important to have if people are really truly communicating with actual questions through the email function. With the chat, it's just a drama show. It's nothing of importance. And normally it's hard for Ontario to filter out the questions that's needed to be addressed. So that's my.
Well, Tiffany's making a good point, and this is things that she should have said these things before it became a issue. Like, she got to point out how this thing is. Like, okay, we got Ontario, he's reading the comments. He has to filter out through all the filler and through the nonsense just to find the questions. You got trolls in the chat. You got all kind of people in the chat. He has to filter through this. So to make it a smooth thing, I definitely would understand and agree with her about how to streamline it to make it more, orderly. But she didn't make that clear at first. It basically, people had questions, and now she got answers when she should have stated all that in the changes. When she made the changes, she should have stated all that. I'm sure they would have understood, but there's people trying to sabotage this whole thing going on.
Issue with the live chat, but you want it, you got it. So moving
Mayor,
on.
thank you for the grandstand.
Welcome.
I'm ready to move forward with the meeting. Thank you.
Damn, that nigga said, thank you for the grandstand.
Thank you, but I still was talking, trustee, so thank you. Please, y'all wish I would learn Robert Rules of Order and call on or speak when addressed. So I would appreciate that. So moving on next is citizens address. Ontario, do we have anything for citizens address?
It's a live chat, or she answered my question. It's a live chat. It is a live chat, and just think about this like this. If your job was to only find the questions in the live chat that applies to the actual board meeting and is actually a legit question, your job is to filter throughout the chat those questions. You know why I'm upset? Because I don't think I should be going through this right now. Not with the brand new router. Not with the wired connection. Not with all this bandwidth I got. I had to shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I don't like that type of stuff. I'm gonna have to call my internet company because I need to understand why it just cut off. Why did it just cut off? It didn't even restart. It just stopped working. It just said no internet. Like, what? I had to unplug it and plug it back, and now it's internet. So where did the internet go? Where did the internet go? Why did I need to unplug it and plug it back? Where did the internet drift off to that I need to unplug it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how it just leave? It literally told me no internet. How? Shout out to the chat. I can't bother. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. It's foolishness, man. Y'all hit the like button on y'all way back in. I don't like stuff like that, bro. Like, it just cut off and then said not connected to the internet. Now go look at the router. The router got all the lights on. So why it's not connected? So I gotta unplug it, plug it back on, and now it's connected. So what just happened? I don't like that. I don't like that. I can't afford that, especially when I got with my home server. Like I got a whole server. I don't need no unexpected shutdown for no reason. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. They just annoyed me, man. Hit the like button if you haven't already. That'll make me feel better. Don't pay me no mind, but I get annoyed for this type of nonsense, man. I gotta call them. I gotta call them because this can't, like, in the middle of the day, like, what's happening? That to us. Salute to you, Saya. In the middle of the day, bro. I'm not appreciating that. Not appreciating that. Shout out to the chat. All right, we about to continue again. We about to get back started. We about to get back started, y'all. We are in the special board meeting. Bills need to get paid. Trustees walked out on the last meeting. If y'all remember, they walked out on the last meeting, refused to pay any bills. Bills got postponed, and now today we need to pay the bills. And they did that because the comment section was disabled on YouTube. They abandoned paying the bills because the comment section was disabled on YouTube, completely disregarding the city's or the village's needs because of their personal disagreements. That's what the trustees are willing to do, and we saw that on full display. And we're going to see them do that many a times in the near future. We're going to see them doing it many a times, and then we're going to wonder, how much do the outsiders that love these trustees and cheer on the nonsense that they do, how much do you guys, outsiders, care about that village? That's going to be the question. And then you know what you're going to learn? The outsiders don't give a damn about the village. They probably just don't like Tiffany. They probably listen to all the stuff that's negative. But when you watch this, are you able to use your own two eyes and see what these people are doing? If you can't, maybe you might need to do some self-reflection, because it's not hard to see. I don't know none of these people, so I don't gotta like none of them. I could just be honest in what I see without no feelings involved, you know? And anybody who's willing to put their feelings above the business is not qualified to be there. And one thing I see is that the mayor be focused on the business, whereas the trustees, they'll put feelings above business and let the people suffer. And if I had to pick one over the other when it comes to government, guess who's going to be the one that's going to get picked? The one who actually give a damn about the business. See, this is the thing, right? You got people in politics who got their own personal beliefs. And then when you hear their personal beliefs, you'll be like, I hope you don't use those beliefs to help you make decisions in lawmaking. Because some people got some moral standards in their beliefs, and you would never want them to make no laws for you. Because their belief system is so extreme, and it fuels their influence on whether or not they vote on things. So you got to understand, we got some people in politics that are fanatics with their own belief system. And some of them people don't need to be governing nobody. Religious fanatics and those type of people, they don't need to be governing nobody, because their belief system trumps all logic. All logic gets trumped because of what they believe. You don't need these people in those type of positions making laws, okay? So you got to understand who you're going to have. You need impartial people, people that won't let their feelings get involved in decision making. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. All right, let's continue.
We do.
Give me one moment. I'm pulling the email up.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, so the citizens address, this is from Mary Jackson. She actually has a few questions. Is the convicted employee still working for the village of Dolton? When is Dorothy Brown's last day for the village? Is the mayor using taxpayers' money to pay her PR person? Why hasn't any citizen questions been answered on the website since August? Will the mayor receive a traffic? Hold on, let me reread this. It's not worded correctly. Will the mayor receive a traffic ticket for paying her car in reverse down a whole block in the whole lane?
Listen to these questions. These questions is people who got smoked for the mayor. Is the mayor still got a convicted felon working there? Like, the fuck? Does the convicted felon status stop them from working there? If not, why are we talking about this? Because that'll be discrimination against people with records. And jobs are not supposed to do that. If the job says you cannot hire felons, then that's different. But when you start trying to make a person lose their job because they're a felon and the job hires felons, then it'd be like, well, what are we doing here? Like, these be the little things that make me wonder, like, what we doing? But as you can hear, these questions is people who got smoked for the mayor. Why did she reverse back down the street? It's like, oh, these are citizens address questions. Okay.
Almost hitting another vehicle. And then Miss Jessica Jefferson has a question. I'm just reading through a lot of these. I'm just getting them now.
See how difficult his job is trying to filter through all this nonsense? It's not easy trying to filter through all the nonsense. You're going to need a separate platform for questions if you're going to have all this nonsense happening in the chat. I mean, people going to type from all over the world. They got people in Germany typing in the chat, acting like they're concerned about what's going on in Dolton. So, claiming to be citizens. How am I supposed to know that this name in the chat is a citizen of Dolton acting like they concerned? Then you check the IP address and this person is out there in motherfucking Russia and Finland and shit. Talking about, when are we gonna get this? And like, wait a minute, you don't even live in the United States. How do you know these things? From people don't consider that, because when you don't like somebody, it's easy to be biased. You know what's hard? To be fair and impartial, especially when you don't like somebody. It's so hard that judges be having to recuse themselves. It's so hard that juries be having to take themselves off the case. It's so hard for a human being to be fair and impartial when they don't like somebody, that you got to understand that you might be one of those people that cannot be fair and impartial. Once you could come in terms with that, maybe you can start making changes within yourself to become fair and impartial. Pick and Choose TV. What's up, Slim?
This is a statement, it's not a question. All right. I want the old format for citizens address. Is the mayor afraid of answering live questions? The citizens of Dolton deserve to have their questions answered live right away.
No, they don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. Go to a town hall meeting there. See, you got people in the chat that feels entitled to stuff that they don't have to be entitled to. How about no more comments, period? Then what? Then all you gonna do is be mad because you acting like I can't do this. Like some people be having too much entitlement. They don't deserve none of that, because this shit didn't exist before. These Zoom meetings didn't exist before. So before the Zoom meeting, 5 years prior to this day, what did the citizens deserve? it wouldn't be this, because this wouldn't have been there. So people got to stop acting like this new shit is something that we always had and we can't live without. Stop it. Stop it.
And where can I view a record of the questions asked and answered by Dolton's board meetings? That is all in the email that I received so far today.
All right, thank you so much. By us having the meeting on Monday, we are going to skip a lot of the stuff in the beginning, which is the village clerk's report, village administrators report, engineers report, committee reports, department reports. We're gonna go right into corporate bills. So Trustee House, you have the floor for corporate bills.
Right into the drama. Right into the drama. Hey, corporate bills, y'all. You know, with corporate bills, nobody be wanting to pay, especially when Mr. House and Belcher don't be wanting to pay no bills, man. Especially any bills that is personally benefiting from Tiffany for any events or anything like that, they don't want to pay. They got a bunch of little petty shit. So let's see. Hey, you already know the media thing, they don't never want to pay. The mad bombers for the fireworks from since July, they don't want to pay. So let's see if those things are still on the agenda. Because when it doesn't get paid, it's still an invoice that got to get paid, and they just refuse to pay it. So let's see if those things are still on the agenda months later.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
Excuse me, Trustee. I'm working on, just letting you know, I'm working on getting the chat live again, okay? Just letting you guys know. That's what I'm working on now.
Thank you, Ontario. Okay, pulling the warrant list here. I do have one question prior to the corporate bills. The previous board meeting, we made a request that the severance package, the severance pay for a certain employee be included on the last warrant list for payment.
Yo, you see, they still pushing this thing for the free money. To give the money to the, now, most people in their right minds that can think clearly understand that what House and them is trying to do with this shit is some fuck shit. Everybody that's been, you understand what House and them is trying to do is some nonsense. But notice it's an agenda for him to make sure that money go to that person. It's an agenda for him. It's a real, and it's like, bro, is this personal? It's a big agenda for him to make sure, and the mayor's against that shit. And it doesn't benefit him, and it actually can put the city into a problem later on in the future. But he don't care about that. He's determined to make sure whoever this person is get this money that they don't deserve. Him. That's corruption. I'ma just, listen. There's no way he could be thinking about the village. Because that decision is going to mess the village up later on. It's going to mess the village up later on. He can't be thinking about the village. He clearly is thinking about that individual and making something right for that individual. And that right there is bias, sir. You ain't thinking about the bigger picture. You clearly you don't care about the bigger picture.
Corporate bills. The previous board meeting, we made a request that the severance package, the severance pay for a certain employee be included on the last warrant list for payment. From my understanding, that check has not been issued yet, and I would like to ask, is there something that's preventing it, that check from being released to either Chris or anybody that may be able to give me feedback, because we would like that check to be released.
But it's crazy that I watch you, bro, not want to pay bills. I watch you not want to pay bills for things that actually need to get paid. I watch this man refuse to pay bills for actual work that's been done. But this man is determined to get this money he's determined to get somebody some money that they don't deserve, that they didn't work for. She did veto it, and they did something on top of it to go back against the veto. They went and tried to override the veto. So it's that serious that this individual get this money that they didn't work for. But this man be refusing to pay bills that people actually work for. That right there is corruption, Mr. House. And how is your bed gray in 2021 and your shit is fully black in 2024, nigga? I'm pissed. Do y'all not see that Jason House is fully gray at the bottom here? Look at Jason House in 2024. This man got a full black face of hair. His hair is fully black. Oh, you in the spotlight. Oh, you a celebrity now, Mr. House. You ain't even natural no more. You over here dying your bed. Because, bro, this, I'm telling y'all gotta watch these people, bro.
Okay, I'll look into it for you. Next.
Well, I've sent the email, so we've been looking into it for a month. I would like to ask if somebody couldn't resolve that right now. I think
Right now, he wants to resolve the free money that he want to give to that person that don't deserve it, man. Like, this is, bro, I never see, bro, House don't never want to pay no bills, but he want to get this done, and this ain't even work. I'm upset by this. Because for him to be pushing for this so hard, it's like, bro, you don't even want to pay bills that people actually do the work. You trying to give somebody free money on a severance pay. Because you don't like the fact that they got fired. So you want to make sure they get this money because you don't like the fact that they got fired. Not because of the work, but bro, House. I'm telling you, he's the slickest one here. He the one you got to watch the most, bro. He has the most to gain. He has the most to gain if the mayor gets sabotaged, House has the most to gain from it. This boy is big celebrity now. Look at him. He ain't care about no dying in his bed in 2021. 2024 though. Oh, yeah, because they celebrities now. They doing interviews, all type of stuff. They constantly, like, oh, don't worry. Don't worry, I want to make sure my timeline is right. So by the time we get to January, we're going to get to the first videos of the trustees because the trustees made their own YouTube page. But they ain't make it yet at this time. That's why I'm not going through those videos. The trustees started having their own board meetings. Yeah. But that don't start yet. Some things is going to occur around January, and the trustees are going to start doing separate board meetings on a separate page that's monetized, and somebody's getting a YouTube check off of that page. Don't worry, we're going to get to all that stuff. Because these be the things that annoy me. When a man act like he cares a lot about something, and it don't got nothing to do with the actual work. And when the work come to be done, he's the main one stopping it from getting done. He's the finance director. He's the one that be like, nah, we gonna pay this, but not this. And the mayor be like, well, could you explain why we not gonna pay this? And bro, as we go through this, we gonna hear House with his nonsense over and over.
Okay, I'll look into it for you. Next.
Well, I've sent the email, so we've been looking into it for a month. I would like to ask if somebody couldn't resolve that right now. I think it's a simple enough request.
Well, no one can resolve it if I don't know about it. So now that you're telling me about it, I'll definitely get a response to you. So, question heard. Next.
The next thing I'm going to do is I see there was a warrant list that was just sent out at 5:32. Chris, can you kind of, which warrant list are we seeking to get approved? I guess that's my question.
The revised one that was just sent out.
Can you highlight the adjustments to the warrant list? What I want to do is I want to vote on the warrant list that was presented on October 27th, but if you can highlight the changes that were made, then we may consider adding or deleting those from the warrant list, please.
Okay. And Chris, before you explain, make sure you explain to the board why you just got a warrant list so they don't think it was me. So please explain so they understand your mistake and what happened and why you try to fix it.
So due to the new software that we went to converting to Civic, by the time I went through the entire approval process to get to my side of it where I could approve it and put it onto the warrant list, that was finished today. So all of these invoices, that the revised ones that you guys received today, had all invoices that were already put in prior to the warrant list that went out on the 20, whichever date you stated, trustee. Those were all invoices that were in there. The final approval for those items just flew through today. So that's why it showed up on the warrant list I sent you this a little earlier. That reflected all those invoices that were already in there, that were already approved and for work that was already done prior. They just now flew in, got onto the warrant list because they got through all of the stages of approval with the new system. Because with this new system, everyone's learning the process.
So the mayor's covering her ass because she realized Chris wants some bullshit. Chris don't be 100% honest, and Chris be trying to cover his ass when he fucking up. So Chris messed up. Chris made a mistake in the last thing and had to make some correction. But he never says that he makes a mistake. He just basically tells them there's a revised version. Here, I just sent you the revised version with no explanation. And they're going to assume, of course, everyone is going to assume that this revised version comes from the mayor. So the mayor realized, and Chris did not make it clear that the reason they got a revised thing is because something he did wrong. The mayor like, yo, well, Chris, I need you to let them know what really happened so they don't assume that I did some shit, because you know that that's what they do, because they don't like me. So the mayor got to cover her ass now around Chris. God damn, Chris, how long you going to be here? Does Chris still work there in 2024?
Can I ask, are there many additions to this warrant list? Or are there just one or two items?
There's 5 vendors.
Would you be able to list those out, please, for me?
Cal City Plumbing, Lincoln National, 5 Star, Pekarsky, Eagle Uniform.
Chris, let me add to that. It's my understanding that these were all approved prior to the warrant list going out last Wednesday, but the system knocked them out. That was what I was informed, because they showed up again this past Monday to be approved again. And when Janice called you, you said they got knocked out of the system, and for some reason they did not show up on the previous warrant list.
So yeah, there's multiple stages of approval within the system.
Boy,
so
Chris,
due to the dollar.
Listen, when you see that clerk be on it, bro. So you see that clerk side-eyeing Chris, you need to side-eye Chris too. That clerk be on it, bro. That village administrator lady, if that's her, Dorothy, man, she is on her job. And you see how she just side-eyed Chris? Yeah, Chris might need some side-eyeing, y'all. Chris might definitely need some side-eyeing.
Not show up on the previous warrant list.
So yeah, there's multiple stages of approval within the system. So due to the dollar threshold, they flow into an approval system. That approval system, my side is the last final approval. Until it gets to me, it doesn't show up into the warrant list. So because of the tier step approval process, whatever that last approval was, it just got to me. We are learning the system right now, and when you switch it from reclassifying it from one person to another, it resets the whole entire system. So the person who was supposed to approve them approved them, but in the classification, it was under the wrong name. So it didn't get moved up into the next sequence. So it flew through and it created a backwards log until it finally got to me, if that makes sense to everyone.
Okay. So I'm receiving. What I want to do, if you can email those individually, I want to move on approving the warrant list that was presented to the board on October 27th. If you can send the others via email for our board to discuss and potentially do an email consent, depending on it. And if not, we will move it to the next warrant list coming up in December.
Okay.
You follow? Okay.
Go ahead.
With that, I'm gonna read in the motion for the warrant list.
Trustee, I do have just one of the invoices is your guys' dental insurance. I just want to make sure everyone.
Which one is that?
That is Lincoln National.
Lincoln National. Thank you. I would
So-
like to include that on here. Okay. Thank you for highlighting that, Chris. Okay. So for the bills, and do they, I don't see a register number on these as well. Is that an adjustment with the sophomore, Chris?
Yes, due to the software, it doesn't get posted to the general ledger until the checks are actually printed. So when the checks are printed, that's when it updates the general ledger, and that's when it will create a register number. So moving
Okay.
forward, it won't have a register number until we print the checks.
Okay, so I'm going to motion, well, I'll motion to approve the bills presented on October 27th. I will be making some additions and, well, I will be suggesting some additions and deletions to it. The electronic payments of the corporate payments from the electronic warrant list, $15,374.99. Water fund register, $345,376.75. For total payments, $360,751.74. Moving to the warrant list for the bills that are actually being presented. Having a corporate payments of $1,104,870.67. Manual AP checks of $219,543.78. Gross payroll October 8th, $372,054.08. Gross payroll October 22nd, $378,060.41. Melanie Fitness Center register, payments of $1,972.92. Gross payroll for October 8th, $981.11. Gross payroll October 22nd, $981.11. For total payments, $2,078,464.08. I would ask that we make the following additions to that. The Lincoln National Dental would ask that that be added to this warrant list for payment, along with payment to the reimbursement payment submitted by Trustee Belcher, Trustee Norwood, Clerk Key for their IML conference, as well as Trustee Steve, there was one
Reimbursement payment. Oh, they trying to make sure they get their money that they spent. That wait. Is that what that's about? Making sure they get their money back that they spent for something that they did?
Would Clerk Key for their IML conference, as well as Trustee Steve, there was one gentleman you submitted a payment for. I'm sorry, I don't have that in front of me.
Yeah, it was a invoice for DJ Greg that wasn't. I submitted it, but it's not on the warrant list.
And DJ Greg, we would also ask that that invoice be added to this warrant list for payment. Chris, do you have those? And then there's 5 items I wanted to seek removal from the warrant list. Do you have those, Chris?
Sorry, I was the two trustees and the clerk.
Yes, the Lincoln National Dental that you just referenced. And DJ, what was it, Trustee Steve?
DJ Greg.
DJ Greg.
Okay, do you know the dollar, or can you guys just, you don't have to do it during the meeting if it's easier. Just let me know the dollar amount to make sure I have them all correct.
Yes, we'll do. I'll email it to you, Greg.
Perfect.
Okay, and then 5 items that were asking to remove. These items did not follow the proper process. 1 item is over $5,000, which should go to board for approval prior, and then the other 4 were electronic checks that did not receive board approval, so that would be the reason we're asking that these come off. Lehigh Hansen, which is on page 10, $9,637.78. And then the 4 are on the manual checks: Homer Industries, Rogers Roofing, Rachel Matthews, and Hansel Jefferson Electric. So we ask those to no approval for payment.
definitely got to pay Rogers Roofing. We remember Rogers Roofing and all that. So what he's saying is that they supposed to have a separate meeting or a separate vote on approving those because of the amount that those are. So with that understanding, sure, no problem, House, no problem. You guys can do what you guys need to do so that can come on the next agenda. No problem. Star, what's up, Star?
And that my motion to pay the bills as stated.
Yeah, all right. Bill's getting paid. Il Capone, what up? Bill's getting paid, man. All that remains.
Okay,
Second.
a second.
Second.
Second by Steve. Okay, you said Homer. Who else? I got Rachel Matthews and who else?
Rogers Roofing and Hillsville Jefferson Electric.
Jefferson Electric. Okay, so, any discussion?
Yes.
Yeah, let me be recognized for a minute. What was the Roger Roofing? What were they working on?
Those were the roofs that we approved the contract. Our reason on requesting these removals, manual checks should be presented to the board prior to being released. These checks had not received such a prior approval, so I would ask that the administration give a memo of what happened, why this did not follow the prior approval process, and how we can correct it, and then approve it after such time we receive that information.
House, you better be right about what you're talking about, bruh. Because we know exactly why we needed Rogers Roofing, and y'all had damn near postponed that shit, and roofs could have collapsed on people because of y'all. Y'all finally let the roofing people do what they did, and what we're learning is the roofing people ain't get paid yet, y'all. The roofing people ain't get paid yet. Hey, House, make sure what you're doing is what's supposed to be done to hold up the process, bruh.
So, for the Roger Roofing, you guys are wrong for that. That was for all our roofs that you guys voted to approve. And when you voted to approve that, that includes the payment as well.
That's what I thought. You feel me? Because I remember them discussing how much it costs to do the job. Don't we? Once you approved it, you approved the payments and all that. That's why the people start doing the work. So I get a little confused when I hear, well, we can't pay you because we got to approve it again. And I'm like, but you approved it already. I was there. So that's why I was saying, House, you better be right about what you're saying, bro. House, you better be right about what you're saying, because according to my memory, you guys went through this already, and now you're refusing to pay them for whatever fucking reason. And that's what be killing me, because they already acknowledged, we was there, y'all. We was there watching this in real time, like, yo, they didn't want to, they even postponed it till they finally voted on it. Now it's supposed to be done. They already knew how much it was. They even had different quotes. Like, what are we doing? So that's when I'll be like, man, that's why I'll be having to go to Tiffany and be like, yo, it sounds like she might know more than what these guys know. Now she got to correct him about something, because he might be wrong. And I'll be like, well, don't y'all already know this?
Roger Roofing, you guys are wrong for that. That was for all our roofs that you guys voted to approve. And when you voted to approve that, that includes the payment as well.
That's all I need to hear. When you vote to approve it, that means you voted for the payment as well. Like, you didn't know that? Now I need to understand what's the issue here.
As it relates to a manual check, we do not give anyone any of their money in one lump sum. We break it up as they do the work. So that's the reason for their last check to be paid out. Homer Industry. Homer Industry was because of the pile that was outside when we got the issue with the EPA for the landing strip. Now, you guys, once again, came across the board, it was approved. You guys approved the contract, and the payment of dollar amount was included as well. So for you guys to sit here and say no to paying somebody, that's why a lot of vendors do not like coming doing work for the village of Dolton.
I can agree with that. Like, bro, what we doing here? Because, you know, they tried this $5,000 thing and they'd be like, yo, it don't apply to this. And they'd be like, how you didn't know that this didn't apply to that?
Because we do not pay our bills and we have to stop that. It can't be, oh, well, this didn't do the proper channels. It did. It came across the board. The board voted for both items as it relates to village business, and it was taken care of. As it relates to Rachel Matthews, that is the widow of the late fallen firefighter, Lawrence Matthews. She basically got a settlement in a lawsuit and we paid her money. Once again, something else that was approved. So for you guys to constantly say that we're not gonna approve it when we already approved it doesn't make sense. The Jefferson, I don't know which one that is.
Now that, I can't get past that. Like, bro, what was the approval process if you still need to do an approval process? So that's when I want the lawyer to step in. Could the lawyer step in and say what the actual law is on this? Because somebody's not clear here.
Chris, can you tell me the Jefferson?
So that was a payment in which the village previously sent them a payment. Somehow that payment never went to the actual vendor. The vendor did not receive it. It was fraudulently cleared.
Wow.
So this was a reimbursement for the money that they never received.
Wow.
For the Hensel Jefferson.
Wow.
Okay. So that's your answer to that one. And then as relates to you guys amending the warrant list to pay the trustees for their hotels. I've stated several times.
So bro, look what they got on the agenda. Remember the last time when she said they had to pay for their own hotels and they expected that the hotels was going to be paid? They put that on the goddamn warrant list, bro. Look at what the trustees be trying to make sure gets paid while they let other business not get handled. Let's make sure we get our reimbursement back for them hotel rooms, but let's not pay some of these bills. Personal thing. Oh, she think we not gonna get our money back? Let's make sure we get our money back, and let's make sure. And I'll be like, man, why you don't fight so hard for the actual stuff for the city, though? Why don't you fight so hard to make sure work get done in the actual village? You be fighting for some nonsense. You fighting to give a lady free money that she don't deserve. You fighting to get them reimbursement for some shit that they said they were supposed to pay out of pocket. But then you don't want to pay the people that's actually doing the work. That, to me, ladies and gentlemen, is corruption.
That I'm not paying for anyone to sleep overnight when it's the trustees for their hotels. I've stated several times that I'm not paying for anyone to sleep overnight when it's something close by, which was downtown. I drove downtown to the IML. We will always pay for anybody to get educated, but we will not pay for you to sleep overnight when it's local. Now, if you're out of state or something like that, that is so different.
So now they want taxpayers to pay for them spending a night in a hotel that's right in the same city that they live in. That they could have went to the event and then went back home. They spent the night at a hotel and they want the taxpayers to pay it. And they put this type of shit on the agenda while not paying actual bills for work that's actually done. And people that don't like Tiffany is going to justify this. How?
And then with that being said, as it relates to your bills that you guys turned in, trustees, and I'll start with Trustee Belcher. You turned in a bill for $770.87.
What?
You then went a little further and upgraded your hotel room, and you went and ate at Kitty's, and the bill was $54.73. So we're not going to pay for that.
Excuse me.
Yo. So, bro, this is before any news of a mayor spending a bunch of money at a hotel or at a restaurant. Listen, look what's happening early on. She upgraded her room. Well, and you want them to pay for the upgrade as well? You want the taxpayers to pay for the upgrade as well? These things be interesting. You could upgrade your room on your own dollar, but why?
Room. And you went and ate at Kitty, a bill for $770.87. You then went a little further and upgraded your hotel room, and you went and ate at Kitty's, and the bill was $54.73. So we're not going to pay for that.
Excuse me, before you start lying again.
Miss, you're out of order, trustee. You're out of order and unprofessional. When I'm finished, you can air all your grievances out. Wait your turn. I can't stand Belcher for this nonsense, bro. Ain't no hold on. It ain't your turn. Ain't no hold on. This ain't high school where anybody could just jump in the conversation when the hell they feel like it. Ain't no hold on. It's stay in your goddamn place. It ain't your turn to talk. I don't care if you don't like her. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, this is how it goes. She don't get to break the rule because you don't like somebody else. Nah. Stay in your place and wait your turn. You don't get to cut her off.
Kitty's, and the bill was $54.73. So we're not going to pay for that.
Excuse me, before you start lying again.
Trustee.
My email stated that I was only requesting.
Point of order, trustee.
Point of order. Like, you know, he's just like, you just so unprofessional. Like, how do these people get in these positions, bro? Can we get Belcher to never be in a position like this again? Go send her to regular work. Let her do a regular job somewhere, bro. I can't stand that unprofessionalism. It's disgusting.
I can't deal with her today. Before you start lying again. My email stated that I was only requesting.
Point of order, trustee.
I can't deal with her today. Would you please
learn Robert rules? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Like, I don't even know how people could stomach this type of behavior watching government. And like, so you think that Tiffany's attitude is worse than this?
Next, we have Allison Keys. Allison, you spent $650 for your hotel room. You don't have any upgrades on your hotel room, but that's how much you spent, $650.40. Next, we have Brittany Norwood. Brittany, you self-park in the garage. You charge $25. And do you have upgrades? You don't have any upgrades in the room. You spent $700.40. Now, when you guys went to the
Bro, these people are local, spending $700+ on rooms, and they live right in the city.
Mail, the same stance I still have to this day. We all, well, you guys, because I'm no longer trustee. All trustees get an expense account. At the time of this booking, you guys made $5,000 in your expense account. There's no way that you should not been able to afford a $200 a night hotel room, especially when it was downtown. I still believe that all trustees should basically pay for their hotel room that's located downtown, and that it should not be paid with taxpayer dollars. As it relates to the $300, I'm going over everything that you.
So the trustees have a budget that they can spend, and they're not spending out of that for the hotel rooms. They're not, like, listen, like, bro, like, I mean, we could ignore it if we like the trustees enough to be like, let's ignore it and act like we ain't hear that. They got a budget. $5,000 is in the budget. So all those rooms could have been covered by their budget, but guess what? They're not getting it paid from that budget. I guess they're going to use that money for something else and let the taxpayers pay for this one. Is that okay? Is that okay?
That you should not been able to afford a $240. You self-park in the garage. You charge $25. And do you have upgrades? You don't have any upgrades in the room. You spent $700.40. Now, when you guys went to the IML, the same stance I still have to this day. We all, well, you guys, because I'm no longer trustee. All trustees get an expense account. At the time of this booking, you guys made $5,000 in your expense account. There's no way that you should not been able to afford a $200 a night hotel room, especially when it was downtown. I still believe that all trustees should basically pay for their hotel room that's located downtown, and that it should not be paid with taxpayer dollars. As it relates to the $300, I'm going over everything that you add in or taking out. The $300 for, I don't know what that invoice said, for Ed Steve. I don't know what that is. I think I saw that because I think she misplaced it. It came to her, here it is, her spam. So you guys said you wanted to pay for a DJ for the trustees at tea with the trustees. I don't understand why we would pay a DJ for $300 when it's not even a event as it relates to community involvement, outdoors, something like that. If it's indoors and it's $300, I don't understand why the trustees didn't want A, get a sponsor, or B, pay for it out of their pockets. And I'm trying to understand what line item would the $300 come out of when you guys always stated that I spent the money as relates to special events.
Facts. They said she spent over the 30,000. We remember. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. She said it's 30,000 allotted to events, and the mayor spent over it, right? So that means there is no money to do none of that stuff they trying to do, because she spent it all according to them. So where's that money gonna come from? Remember, Belcher. Remember, y'all. Belcher would pull up papers saying you spent 30,800. You went over. You went over. Okay, so that means there's no more money in there. So where is this money gonna come from to pay for your stuff if she spent all the money? Yeah, she was slick with that one. Since I spent all the money, where's the money coming from? I like that one. I like that one.
Out of their pockets. And I'm trying to understand what line item would the $300 come out of when you guys always stated that I spent the money as relates to special events. So please explain what line item would the $300 come out of for this DJ that you want to pay. Right. Those are my statements.
Can I be recognized?
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead, Trustee Steves.
Oh, nah, Mayor. Well, then again, she did talk out of turn, but you know Belcher got something to say. She's waiting to talk. See, I don't know. You see what the mayor just did right there? I don't know if it was wise to not let Belcher get her part out, knowing that she wanted to talk since she had cut you off. So you know she wanted to talk. So to let Steves go first, knowing that Belcher wanted to talk, being spiteful there, Mayor. You're being spiteful, and you already know Belcher gonna just react 10 times worse. 10 times worse. And you know, the people that don't like the things that the mayor do is gonna justify Belcher's behavior. If she's wrong from the start, she can't be wrong. She can't be right after that. Everything that started with the wrong is wrong. Everything. Because you know why? Because all the events that happened after the wrong wouldn't have happened if the wrong didn't happen. So it'd be like, okay, even if she's right somewhere in there, it don't matter if she's right, because if she wasn't wrong in the first place, we would never get to the point to where she was right about anything. We would never get to none of that if she wasn't wrong in the first place. So it'd be like, well, you know, the root of the problem is still what it is. And if you fix the root, you won't have the problem. Like, we won't even have the discussion about any of the other events after that, because the problem wouldn't have existed. So at the end of the day, she's still a problem, and she still needs to be fixed, no matter when she's right or what. Because most of the time she starts her foundation off some bullshit.
It can come out the $300 can come out the miscellaneous budget that you spend with all the events that you've been putting on. It can come out that one of them budgets. You know, every event that you don't put on in the village, it is a village event, and it was village residents there. It's tea with the trustees with the residents. It's not something we put on for our own. We ain't a party that we doing for ourselves. Ain't a karaoke night. This is something that we put on for the residents. Since they don't have a voice at the board meeting, So we give them a voice at the team with the trustees. This is a village event. And can take it out the miscellaneous budget that you pay for.
So this is an event where so he's saying they don't get a voice. The people don't get a voice. So this is an event for them to get a voice. Or is this an event for the people that support the trustees to come and speak against the mayor?
Event that you've been doing since you've been elected. See, and since you're over your budget, your affairs budget or your events budget, take it out the money that you've been spending money to do all these events that you're doing. That's where we take the money from. Your budget, your affairs budget or your events budget, take it out the money that you've been spending money to do all these events that you're doing. That's where we take the money from.
Okay, so with that being said, if you said I'm over my budget, then how are you taking out any other budget? I
don't understand that part. I'm like, bruh, where? So she get so she ain't overspending the miscellaneous budget, so she's still able to spend in there. So she's still got money that she can spend on stuff, and it's not considered overspending. Now that you guys want to spend some out of that money. But when she want to spend the money, you make it seem like there ain't no money to spend. But now he letting us know there's a whole miscellaneous fund that she still get to spend out of. They want to spend out of it too. Oh, so I guess she didn't overspend then. I guess there's still money that she can spend, and you just let us know that. Like, why do y'all? Man, it is what it is.
Take it out the money that you've been spending money to do all these events that you're doing. That's where we take the money from.
Okay, so with that being said, if you said I'm over my budget, then how are you taking out any other budget? A, I'm not over any budget. B, when it comes to spending money or anything like that, again, when you guys do not get your way, this is what you do. You amend it to make it make sense for you, to benefit you.
Facts. And I don't understand if people don't see it or they don't want to see it. Look what they did to give the lady free money. Look what they did to give the lady free money. They went and override and created something new to give the lady free money. The trustees do that. They want to create something new just to give that lady free money, bruh. That's how serious they is. They went and got a new attorney. They went and do all type of stuff. When they don't get their way, they change the rules. They change the rules.
The trustees. So what I'm stating is that we're going to follow protocol and formality. It should be across the board. It should not be when it's beneficial to you trustees. So with that being said, amending the warrant list to pay for hotels that I've already said several times we will not pay for because you guys get the expense account is not right. As it relates to the $300, if you follow protocol to put it on the warrant list, it would have gotten paid. But you guys want to amend the warrant list so it can get paid. So that's my response to that. Anyone else?
Hold on, man.
Can I be recognized?
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm gonna move off you, trustee, but go ahead, I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish. Now, go to the rest of the-
I sent that invoice in to Chris and Janice, especially Chris. Reason why it was pulled is that's not on me. So Chris, why wasn't that invoice on the warrant list when I sent it to you?
That boy Chris.
Now, as it relates to Chris or Janice, I know when I spoke to Janice about it, she stated that it ended up in her spam because that's how I found out about it. So by then, everything was already out. So that's why, again, why I say that if everybody just communicate.
Nah, Mayor, you see, the thing about it is, you're saying Steve's did what he was supposed to do, and you guys got it late because it was in the spam or whatever, so then that ain't on Steve's. That ain't on the trustees then. That's on y'all for it went in the spam. But it's still supposed to go through. Like the avenues he said for him to go through, he went through it. The ball got dropped on y'all side somehow. So y'all should find a way to rectify it, Mayor. Y'all should find a way to rectify it, being that he did go through the procedure that you said. See, this is where me and the mayor be having issues right here. Like, lady, you gotta. She's saying, oh, yeah, y'all should have communicated with me. Well, once y'all realized the shit was in spam or whatever, you should have found a way to rectify it instead of just telling them, oh, too late, too bad. Oh, too bad. It was in the spam. It's too late to fix it. Like, find a way to rectify it. See, what they're doing is they're finding a way to rectify it. They found their own ways to rectify it. And I can't blame them for finding a way to rectify it now that I hear that he did attempt to do it the way that you said. And you're now acknowledging that, oh, y'all didn't get it on time because it was in spam, and that's a you problem. And you should do something to rectify that.
You'll get the facts instead of coming here assuming what it is or that someone's trying to hold you up or not pay some or add it to the warrant list. Just like your attorney. I added your attorney to the warrant list, right? And he's making $1,000. So I'm stating that to say that why would I not have added $300 to the warrant list? So that's what happened with the employees. So I'm just speaking for her so you'll know what happened.
You're double talking though.
I'm not double talking.
She is double talking. Shout out to Steve for pointing that out. She double talking. Steve's. She double talking, my nigga. Steve, she's double talking, bro.
Why would I not have added $300 to the warrant list?
First of all, you didn't even want to add them the lawyer to the warrant list. She said, why wouldn't I? Like if she had no problem adding the lawyer. They fought for that lawyer, boy. They made a bunch of noise. They damn near forced her to pay for the lawyer. She talking about I added to the money list. Why wouldn't I add the $300? Lady, they had to put a gun to your head to make you pay that attorney. What are you talking about? Don't act like you did that willingly. She full of shit. She did not do that shit willingly.
So that's what happened with the employees. I'm just speaking for her so you'll know what happened.
You're double talking though.
I'm not double talking.
You just said we didn't send it through.
Right.
Then you just said it went through and it went to
spam.
No,
exactly. Bro, Steve's, thank you. I just pointed that out. Steve's, you're absolutely right, bro. And Mayor, because of that, you're forcing the trustees to do things the way they doing it because they want to feel justified because they know Steve's know he did it the right way. And then knowing that he did it the right way and y'all still ain't make it go through and you still trying to punish them like if they didn't do it the right way, that'll make me feel like, okay, you want some bullshit and I know what to do. I'm going to have to find my own way to do it. And that's what leads to this type of stuff. Mayor, your lack of communication as well, man. Your lack of communication as well. You should have communicated to the trustees once you realized they did what they were supposed to do and something went wrong on y'all end. You should have now reached out to them like, yo, hey, I just noticed that this thing is wrong. So I reached out to you. Like how you be wanting them to reach out to you? This was one of them moments you, Mayor, should have reached out to the trustees. I swear, man, all these people incompetent. Mayor, I don't think you're going to get a new term. This was your first try. Good try. Good try. Try again in a couple years, Mayor. Try again in a couple years. Maybe you can get a second term in a couple years. But right now, you still got some lessons to learn, man. Lord of mercy.
Did not. I said that speaking for $1,000, assuming what it is or that someone's trying. Now, as it relates to Chris or Janice, I know when I spoke to Janice about it, she stated that it ended up in her spam because that's how I found out about it. So by then, everything was already out. So that's why, again, why I say that if everybody just communicate, you'll get the facts instead of coming here assuming what it is or that someone's trying to hold you up or not pay some or add it to the warrant list. Just like your attorney. I added your attorney to the warrant list, right? And he's making $1,000. So I'm stating that to say that why would I not have added $300 to the warrant list? So that's what happened with the employees. So I'm just speaking for her so you'll know what happened.
You're double talking though.
I'm not double talking.
You just said we didn't send it through. Then you just said it went through and it went to spam.
No, I did not. I said that she basically went in her spam. That's what I stated. The person that you sent it to that we're speaking of. And that's how I ended up with it because I asked her why wasn't it on the warrant list.
You didn't say that.
That's how I ended up with the actual bill.
You said that we didn't go through the proper channels.
Right.
No, I'm saying
yeah, she sure did say that, bro. I mean, come on, Mayor. Come on. You are double talking. Like, you don't want to reimburse them when you know now, you're letting me know now that they should be reimbursed because they did try to do it the way they were supposed to be done, and you're forcing them to have to deal with this like if they did something wrong. That's not fair. You should be able to take accountability and say, yo, you know what? It was on my end. You know what? Let me see if I can do something to fix it. It's not on them at that point, man. So and you just laid that out, Mayor. You just laid that out. At first, you made it seem like, they didn't do what they were supposed to do. So it is what it is. And I'm with that. You should have did what you're supposed to do. But she just made it clear. He did that. He did what he's supposed to do. It's on you now.
You're not going through the proper
And
channels
now
right
you
now.
said-
No. Listen to what I'm saying. When you send it to her, right, and it didn't end up on the warrant list, by the time she got it, everything was already out when she brought it to my attention, right? So now here we are. What I'm saying to you is, if the proper channels is send it to them and they get on the warrant list, like anything else y'all saying gets on the warrant list. That's what I'm saying. Why didn't you do that process? Right now, you amended the warrant list to add your $300 DJ.
It was sent in, like you just admitted. It was sent in. If it went through a spam, that's not on me.
It was. It went through. It was in the wrong thing. That's what I'm saying. So
The first time you said it didn't go in. Now you said
no. I did not. I'm telling you the mistake that was made. So I'm telling you why it wasn't where it was at.
Say that,
so
man.
that's all I got to say on that.
You did say it didn't go through the channels. You did say that. You did say that. You did say that, man.
But that's it. But you put it on there. I'm just telling you how I feel about it. So next to the
about a feeling.
Anybody else?
Can I be recognized?
Go ahead, trustee.
Okay, so first, for clarity and proper communication, when I did send my invoice, inside of the body, it stated that I only requested the money back for my rooms. If I upgrade anything or buy whatever, it came off of my personal credit card. I don't have a problem with that. Also, if we want to talk about credit cards, we seen a Fifth Third that had a hotel stay for $337 at that same hotel for September 26th. So whose bill was that? That because it wasn't, if you're saying that you didn't pay for any of ours, who charged the hotel room for September 26th for $337 on the credit card? Also, you're talking about we're having events and we should spend our money. Every event that you've been putting out has your own name on it. It does not have a board of trustees. And you get an expense check just like we get expense checks. You're using, since you've already overseeded special events, line item 0112598 that has $140,000 of other miscellaneous funds, since you've already exceeded it. So when you start asking us where's the money coming from, it will come out of that same line item 0121598 that you've been spending stuff. So when you
that means she ain't overspending it then. I mean, it's at the end of the day. Now she definitely said that some of the expenses for the upgrades she'll cover herself. You know what I mean? She's made that clear. So the expenses, the upgrades and stuff like that, she'll cover that herself. So she made that clear. But she's also still pointing out that there's money in the funds. There's still funds available for the mayor to spend. And that's where they're spending the money from. So then that means the mayor did not overspend. That means there's still money for her to spend. There's still money for y'all to spend.
tell us that we should be using our expense check, why haven't you used your $3,000 expense check?
Okay, are you done, trustee?
No, I'm not done. Then there was a charge for $33,000 for the apron on the fire department, in front of the fire department. That line item that they charged only had $25,000 in there. It wasn't, and I understand he sent us an email after the fact when somebody brought it to his attention that it was an emergency and it had to be done. But the sad part is that if we don't even get these communications, we don't know anything about it. It's just like you do. Yeah. And I'm not, whoever department.
All right, we about to get into all type of other stuff outside of these line items and these things that's on the agenda. Mind you, the whole back and forth with Steve's and House and Tiffany is specifically about the rooms, the hotel. She takes all her other grievances and put them on the table. All her other grievances from other stuff, she puts them on the table, and this ain't what that's about. Now the stuff with the hotel, you need to focus on that, and the stuff about the budget stuff, you need to focus on that because you straying into other conversations about other things that's not on the table right now.
It had to be done. But the sad part is that if we don't even get these communications, we don't know anything about it. It's just like you do. Yeah. And I'm not, whoever department heads is, they do whatever. And it's just like, oh, well, we spent the money now, whatever. So it's unfair to us that you're saying that we're not going through the proper channels or we're not doing this and we're not doing that. When we get this stuff, it's always after the fact.
Lisa Lee.
So when you start talking about what we should be spending for moving forward, since all these events have your name on them, are you going to be using your expense check? Because I don't care if you pay it or don't pay it. My card swipe wherever I go. But it's just the principle of for you to get on here and you always saying we grandstanding. That's not fair that we're having events and you have events, but you can charge all of your events and then you questioning something that we did as a community event.
Because you're saying, see, she's saying, the mayor is saying that since you guys said she spent all the event money, then there shouldn't be no money for events. But you guys are also saying there's money for events because there's money to be spent. So that means that she didn't spend all the money. And that's what she was trying to throw in your face. She was trying to throw that in y'all face, making y'all eat y'all words. That's what she was doing by pointing that out. I don't know if you got it or not. But the more you keep explaining that there's money there, the more she's basically like, so then that goes against all the shit y'all been saying about her spending all the money. That's the point of that.
So you can write notes, jot down. So whenever you come back with your chitter chatter, I'll be waiting. But thank you so much. I'll release.
All right. Thank you, trustee. So as relates to me spending my money, I've always spent my own money for events. As relates to certain things that certain people do that actually live in the village of Dolton and might do an event. Now they do get paid sometimes from the village funds. But if you will pay attention, since y'all know everything, I get a lot of things donated to the village of Dolton.
Facts.
So
Facts. Almost every time the mayor comes up with a proposal, she usually tries to get people to sponsor it. She'll break it down. Like I got the people that own the property to donate the space so that we don't have to pay for the space. I got another third party to come through and they'll donate this. She goes and tries to get those avenues. She does. She brings it to them. Right to them, like, yo, listen, we got people that's willing to donate. We got people that's willing to put up. It's going to cost this, but I'm trying to get these people to at least put half. You know what I mean? The mayor always trying to find ways to get other money outside of the budget. Grants, all type of stuff. She on that type of stuff because she want to get it done, but she don't be trying to spend their money like that. What and this is only at this point from May 2021 till November 2021. I'm not talking about anything past that. I'm just talking about from May 2021 to November 2021, the way she's been presenting herself, everything she's trying to get done, she's trying to get it through grants, she try to get donations, she try to get help. She doesn't only try to make the city pay for it. She actually looks for other avenues to get other people to pay for some of the stuff. And she brings it to them, and I've been listening to that. So I know at this point here, that's what she's been on. She's always been trying to get outside help and outside money to fund some of the stuff that she's been trying to do, as well as see if the trustees can put something, you know what I mean? So I've seen it over and over. That's been the way she's been trying to get it done. So she's right about that at this point in November 2021.
They do get paid sometimes from the village funds. But if you will pay attention, since y'all know everything, I get a lot of things donated to the village of Dolton. So a lot of the money come from sponsorships, myself, and also the village of Dolton, depending on what the item is. As it relates to you saying you swipe your card wherever you go, then you swipe your card for your hotel room. And that way you don't have to worry about us reimbursing anything, because you said once as a trustee, well, you weren't a trustee, let me rephrase. You weren't a trustee, you was a resident, that you guys as trustees should not even get paid. So if I was you, you should give all the money back, the $25,000 that y'all make per year, back to the village, since you solely believe that y'all should not get any money for doing the job that you do, which is nothing, right? Yeah, I know.
Damn. Eat your words again. She hitting her with those eat your words. When you wasn't a trustee, you said trustees shouldn't even get paid. How about you apply that to yourself now that you're a trustee? You see what's going on here? Is slick shots being thrown around, but that right there was a bomb. If you ever made a statement that trustees shouldn't get paid and you wasn't a trustee and then you become a trustee, hey, remember when you said trustees shouldn't get paid? Do you still feel that way? Do you still feel that way now that you're a trustee? Gotcha. Roll Rich II, what up, man?
The money back, the $25,000 that y'all make per year, back to the village, since you solely.
It's definitely school games, and it's childish as hell. They are childish as hell. The whole administration, the trustee, they're childish. Some more than others, but all of them are guilty of being childish and unprofessional. Every last one of them. You know what I mean? Like, they got their moments when they can be professional, but for the most part, every last one of them are unprofessional.
Believe that y'all should not get any money for doing the job that you do, which is nothing, right? Yeah, I know. So as it relates to, see, when you had the floor, did I say anything? No, I didn't. So I advise you to be the same way. Thank you. So as it relates to your hotel rooms, I will not be paying anything for anyone's hotel rooms. I've said that several times. I think it is wrong on you to even keep putting up the invoices to get your hotel rooms paid for. You guys make enough money to do nothing to basically pay for a hotel room. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave that where it's at. And as it relates to communication, you stating that you only get things when you're here. That's untrue. But you only get things when you're here. Let me rephrase. You only get things when you're here because this is the only time you guys choose to communicate with myself. You guys all have my numbers. I've said that several times. You all know how to call me and say whatever it is that's needed. Just like how you was here this week and I saw you in Dorothy Brown's office, and that's the only communication you and I have had when you wanted something. But other than that, I do not talk to you at all. So all I'm stating to any of you, y'all can communicate and we have to do better. I keep saying that, but I'm not gonna always keep being a person to call y'all. Y'all see my number on y'all phone, call out to get a return call back. One day y'all will grow up, be adults and say, you know what? The mayor always tried to reach out to me. No matter what our differences was, she always tried to call us. And I have always done that as a trustee, even when I was on separate sides, and I continue to do that as mayor. But it's up to you guys to actually want to bridge the gap with our relationship and have some type of communication, some type of dialogue, so we can do the business of Dolton and stop bickering over little things like this. So that's where I'm at with it. Anyone else have anything to say so we can move forward?
May I speak? This is Trustee Brown.
Go ahead, Trustee Brown.
Chris, can we actually have what comes out that miscellaneous budget? Chris?
I'm sorry, Trustee.
Can we have what comes out of that miscellaneous? I know you can't have it today, but can we get a copy of what comes out of that miscellaneous?
All trustees can view what's currently charged to miscellaneous. With the My Viewpoint, you all have access now to see everything that has been charged to that account.
Okay, is it correct? Because from my understanding, speaking to one of the trustees, the information in there is not correct.
You see what I'm saying? Is it correct? Because to my understanding from one of the trustees, it's not correct. So you don't even know if it's correct. You ain't even see it yourself. A trustee is telling you it's incorrect, and that's where you get your information from. All right, so just now that he told you that you got access to it, go look at it. Go look at it. Before you want to know, is it correct? Go look at it.
To the best of my knowledge, it is. Okay. If there's things that are not, then I need to know as to what is incorrect or you guys are thinking that's incorrect.
Okay.
She
One
gonna have
other
to look
last
at it.
thing. Can we be adults on this call this evening? We go back and forth with all the name calling and backbiting and underhanded blows. Let's be adults about the situation. Let's get back on board to what the meeting is about. You guys want to fight and throw sucker punches? Throw it after the meeting. Let's get on with the business.
Shout out to
said that.
Shout out to you. Now, I ain't gonna lie. She don't participate in a lot of in Ms. Brown. She don't Tammy. She don't participate in a lot of the nonsense, but she supports the bullshit. Like she don't like literally be in the back and forth and the bullshit like that, but she supports the people that do it. So she's on board with them and she ready to walk out on the business as well. She ain't one of the people that be like, nah, I don't think we should walk out. Let's go. But she's not one of the ones that's actually making noise. But she supports the ones that do.
Trustee, and every time I come on here, everybody wants to have the floor to give their say so. So here we are. But I'm all about the business. I want to conduct it. So do anybody else got anything they want to say so we can move forward to voting on what just happened?
Yes, may I be recognized? Mayor, I think that the issue, and I think I stated it, and I'll say it again. I think that the issue is we are all elected officials. I feel like when we look over the $30,000 budget that was allotted for the budget, all of these items on here are always the items that you threw as mayor. So I don't understand why, when it's time for us to host an event, why there's always an issue accessing the money that you use freely without the board approval all the time. And when I look on our warrant list, I see that you have from the miscellaneous line item 01-12-598. I see a DJ gas giveaway for $150. It's those type of things. I mean, you use this DJ, you have it on the warrant list for you to pay out the DJ, but then when there's time for us to pay for a DJ for an event that we have, then there's an issue. That's something that I don't understand. And I also don't understand why, in regards to the hotel stay, every elected official that stayed down there, every elected official there, village paid for their room stays. So it's not like we're asking for a request that is out of the ordinary. Every other elected official did not have a problem. They've already been reimbursed and their room has already been paid for. So I just feel like, again, Mayor, I think that in regards to the budget and when it's our time to spend money, I just don't think that we should have an issue because all the time you make purchases. We've paid for a $12,000 inauguration that all charges were made by you, everything you decided upon. And we were against it, but we compromised and we paid it out of the budget. So again, I just say moving forward, we always have a problem when we approve checks. The checks that we approve, they're never distributed by you and the administration. But the checks that we don't approve always seem to get distributed. So I think that that's just my concern. I think that we're all elected by the people. If we're taking care of village business, I don't think that there should ever be an issue. And thank you, Mayor.
See, I agree with most of what she said, except for if you guys keep accusing her of overspending, then how can you expect there to be money in the budget? Maybe if you stop accusing her of overspending, then when you do this type of stuff, it won't become an issue because you guys won't be lying about whether or not the funds is there. Because when she's spending it, you guys making it seem like she's spending funds she don't have. And then you guys want to spend out the same bucket that you said ain't there. That's where the problem gonna start. So how about this? Stop saying she overspending. And so when you spending out that same bucket, it don't create a conflict. Because y'all the ones that come with the accusations. And now we find out that those accusations ain't true. She's not overspending, and y'all know this.
All right. For the record, everybody, the gas giveaway was all my money. I don't use the village money to give away gas. I don't have anything on there as relates to gas giveaway. And then Trustee Belch, you did bring something up. I'm gonna look into that for a hotel room. You said that's on a credit card. I definitely want to research that. So I'm advising Chris to tell me who charged that amount at a hotel, because I never stayed downtown. I commuted back and forth. So if someone else is using the card, I would love for you to research that.
So look at that. So what Belch had pointed out, the mayor's like, I didn't know about that, because she's not the one doing it. You know what I mean? Because what would happen is, Mayor, this was charged on the credit card. You spent it. No, I didn't. I don't know who the hell spent it. I'm not the only person with access to this card. So bringing this to her attention is something she can rectify, and that without accusing her of being responsible for it, bringing it to her attention is less confrontational. More or less, I said more or less. I said more or less, is less confrontational. So the way they approach each other leads to all the nonsense, and most of the time it's a communication thing. If they really actually spoke to each other with respect all the time, then a lot of things will get passed. But I start realizing, like, there's agendas, man. There's agendas, and there's a group. Like, there's 5 people usually against one person. So you're gonna hear a lot of group thinking a lot, and you'll be like, God damn. That's where you start realizing that even if one person have an agenda, one agenda versus 5 agendas is still heavy. Even if one person have an agenda on this side versus 5 agendas, that's heavy.
With all that being said, I want to move forward. Can you call the roll, Clerk Key? Yeah, it was a motion in second. You on mute, Clerk Key. Oh, and then also, let me just put this in record, even though I think I said it already. There you go. Now you guys know I'm so against having legislative counsel. There was a bill placed for $12,000, $183.72. Now, I did add it on the warrant list, and if you guys state that I don't put stuff on here, I did that. And it just amazes me on how much this company charged the village for a month's worth of work. So I just want to put that on the record. I'm not gonna go line by line. Any resident can FOIA this to see kind of what the legislative council is charging the village. Just want to make that statement for the record. All right, Clerk Key, I'm ready.
Hey, Mayor.
Go ahead, Trustee, so we can move forward.
Yes, please. You said I just have the line item up for the DJ gas giveaway. You said that you didn't do that. You didn't make that payment. You didn't. That's on the warrant list. You
okay,
didn't.
Well, I'll look into it. I said anything as relates to gas, I paid out of my money.
Okay. I was just wondering about the DJ.
From residents, Tiffany paid for. It didn't come
the
from
DJ,
no
that was the one was in question. The
so
DJ
if
was
the
in
DJ's
question.
on there, then he probably got paid. So
okay, that's what I was
fine. But I did say gas. So let's be clear, Trustee.
No, thank you. I just wanted I know it was DJ, so that's all I was saying. I know we had a DJ, you had a DJ.
This is the thing, Mayor. This is the shit. This is the thing that she be doing. So if she mentioned a DJ, why would you point out that you paid for the gas? Okay. Is the gas the DJ? Because she said the DJ came out the money for out the budget. So why is it a problem from them having a DJ out the money of the budget? So the mayor's response was she paid for the gas, anything to deal with gas out of her pocket. I'm thinking she's talking about the DJ too. See, Mayor doing that little slick shit. She over here responding to stuff that ain't even been presented. Ain't nobody said nothing about the gas. They talking about the DJ.
I was just wondering. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, but my events are outdoors.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. When
But
you guys have any event,
briefly before?
when you guys have any events or anything you do compared to what I do, is outdoors, is something big for a community. And I'm not saying that you guys items should not have been paid. I
that
just
mean?
explained to you why I felt the way you was doing it was wrong. Your DJ is getting paid, it's on the warrant list. So I don't mind that. And I then stated why you guys say that I never have any money left, but yet you find money to pay for the DJ.
Exactly.
That was the statement. Go ahead, Trustee House.
Right. So I see she was being petty. The mayor was being petty and wanted to point out that you see how you guys be lying on her about the money. So that's what it is. So she said she doesn't have a problem paying it. That's why it's on there, because she don't mind paying it. But she wants to be petty and point out that you guys have been lying about me spending the money. So that's what that is.
Thank you. Just to comment to the Legislative Council, the Legislative Council's hourly rate is $175 an hour, which is less expensive than the other attorneys that we have retained by the village. So that is, and as a trustee, I feel that I'm entitled to speak with an attorney of my choosing. So had I gone to one of the other attorneys, then it would have cost a little bit more, but just want to make sure that we do have access to an attorney. We chose one that has a lower hourly rate. Thank you.
Okay, for the record, you did not. For the record, you guys chose the same company that I fired when I came into office as your legislative counsel, which is Murphy, Odison, and Stirk. So what I'm saying is, and y'all use McGrath, I think that's his name, McGrath for your legislative counsel. Everyone's entitled to speak to any attorney, but we had attorneys on file. We had attorneys that you guys actually voted for, the Delgado Group and Ansel and Glee. This board approved, but then all of a sudden you voted for another attorney for whatever reason. So that's fine. Everybody's entitled to it, but y'all talk to both attorneys. So I will advise you to choose what attorney you're going to get your advice from, so they both are not charging us. Since you just stated your attorneys is $175 an hour compared to whatever the current attorneys are charging. So if you're going to talk to your legislative counsel, leave it at that. I don't think you guys should be splitting bills just like we did when Murphy was here. It was one person that spoke for everybody to Murphy, and then we got the information. When everybody called, the bill will keep going up, going up. All I'm saying to everyone is don't turn this into a us being milked by the attorney, because everyone's calling, and so he's charging when he talked to Trustee Norwood, when he talked to Trustee Steve, when he talked to Trustee House. So all I'm saying is make it make sense for the bills.
Bro, so they got their own attorney, and the village got an attorney, and they using both. So that's why she's saying make a choice of who y'all want to deal with, because y'all over here dealing with both attorneys, and the village got to pay for both of that. You call in to speak to my attorney. This is the village attorney. This one call in to speak to the village attorney. Each one of y'all, and they get charged for that. Talk to your own attorney. Since you bought a new one, only speak to yours, so that we don't got to pay for you using our attorney and your attorney. I get that.
All right, can you go ahead with the calling the roll, Clerk Key, please?
Sure. Trustee Steve?
Aye.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
And Trustee House?
Aye.
Motion passed.
All right. I lost my paper. Okay, one second. Gotta get my papers up. Okay, next on the agenda is old business. Let me see. Can I have a motion to approve items 12A through 22 on the old business?
I'd like to make a motion to approve all items with the exclusion of item 6 and item 7. Related, 6 is related to security cameras for Village Hall and related to floors upstairs at Village Hall. The board still has some more questions about the spending and the money on this one. So I make a motion to approve everything except 6 and 7.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, and then any discussion? Okay, so my discussion for that is we definitely need security cameras for Village Hall, which we talked about all these items in the CAL. So I don't understand why anything is being excluded because you all agreed in the CAL to move forward. As relates to the floors for Village Hall, we had a line item to remodel Village Hall. So again, I don't understand why items are being excluded. So do anybody want to, well, I guess since you made the motion, is there anybody that wants to do that?
Yeah, there's no, we have some questions about the spending and the money and how it's being spent, period. You know, it's not like we're just coming out this out the clear blue with nothing. This is the reason. We have some more questions, and when we get them questions answered, we'll move forward with it. Thank you.
Okay, so just so people are.
So they approved some stuff, and they're at the point they don't trust the mayor. So now they don't want to go with some of the stuff that they approved, and now they want to postpone it, put it off. Just understand that it puts off the business of the village, and you're holding the mayor back from uh, fulfilling the vision that she might have had for the for the um, for the village. But if your concerns is sincere and justified, then that's why you're in the position that you're in to help keep a balance. But if it's personal, bro, then you don't need to be in that position.
Clear on how board meetings work. You're supposed to get your answers before we get here, so we're not back and forth. And then you could have asked those questions. You had an extra week before it came up for another vote, which is today, Friday, to get them answered. If it's something you need answered as related to the money, Chris is here on this chat. Do you want to ask Chris what account is coming out of? What is your question, trustee?
No, I do not. And for the record, stop saying if y'all don't know. You were a trustee for 8 years. You did the same thing for 8 years. How you wonderfully forget this stuff. You wonderfully forget how much you argued about stuff that you could have handled behind closed doors. We just have a question about the funding. That is it. That is it. It's not like we don't know. And again, you talking about let's call, you keep on throwing out these disrespectful shots at everybody. Y'all don't know. Y'all need to learn. You need to learn, Mayor. And you need to start being more respectful. You got to stop that and then say, let's work together. It'll never work. It'll never work. With the tone you're taking right now. Never. And moving forward, I have more questions. We all have more questions about this. So it'll be taped. We won't vote on this right now, and we'll get the questions answered, and then we'll come back to it. Thank you.
Some of the things I can agree with, but it's his personal feelings. He's expressing. His decisions is made by these personal feelings, and it's like, okay, you got questions? Chris can answer them. How about you ask him? Nah, no. You know why? Because I don't like how you be talking to us. And I don't like how you be disrespectful. And I don't like, so as a matter of fact, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to. You reek, bro, of personal vendetta, personal issue. Like you cannot separate yourself to be the person in the position that he's in. You can't, like, man.
Okay, so as relates to me being a trustee, yes, I have several questions as I was a trustee. But guess what, Trustee Steves? When you know better, you do better.
Also with that, Trustee Steves, all of y'all did all that stuff back then, right? It was a bunch of arguing. If y'all see the videos of the meetings from the last mayor, the prior mayor, She was a trustee. They did all that arguing and all that stuff, right? All this, a lot of this nonsense they did. She did it as well, right? Now the thing is, change. The people want to change. The the people was tired of that type of governing. Here she go. She was guilty of doing it back then. She's part of the new movement where the stuff we did then, we don't want to do that no more. We realize how much it was creating a bad light. She started trying to implement changes. These guys is still doing it. Says it's still doing it. These guys, the trustees, is still doing it. They still facilitate that type of governing when they, as well as Tiffany, said that they wanted to change that. So she's trying to implement that, but they still be on that nonsense. So it'd be like, y'all said y'all wanted to change it too, but you was doing it too. Yeah, and I said I'm gonna change, and you said you're gonna change. Why you don't want to change? That's the part. You'd be like, yo, yeah, but you're still doing it. But you used to do it. But you're still doing it. And we said we was gonna stop.
So all I'm trying to do is teach you the route of how things should be managed, but you don't want to learn. You guys want to come here and always grandstand about whatever it is.
Damn, they hate to hear that. See, you hear how she say you don't want to learn? She's younger than all of them, and Steve's pointed that out. So her age and the way she talks and her talking like she's above them because her position is, they're not comfortable with that. Information Man Show. Salute to you, brother. They're not comfortable with that, and Steve's pointed that out in one of these meetings before. That she's younger than them, and so that's a lot of personal stuff, man.
Do better. So all I'm trying to do is teach you the route of how things should be managed, but you don't want to learn. You guys want to come here and always grandstand about whatever it is as relates to getting things done. One thing in the past, and you know, the ex-mayor used to say, things do not get done because trustees drag their feet. And that's exactly what you guys are doing. If we all agree to remodel Village Hall, let's finish it. Don't keep dragging it or kicking the can down the road. We just did the parking lot. We just did the sidewalks. We just did the roofs. We just painted Village Hall. So now you guys want in-person meetings, but you want people to come in here to this filthy carpet, this air is bad. Even the clerk understands what I'm saying because she wanted to move her office. So what I'm saying to you is, let's fix the problem so the employees are in a safe and healthy environment, but we're not doing that. We keep on kicking the can down the road like we did with everything else. It will never get completed. That is my concern with why you guys keep changing your mind. The floors need to be done. The carpet needs to be picked up. Other than that, we can bring a company in to clean the carpet, but guess what? That will take a minute and then it has to dry. And then you have that little sour smell in Village Hall. All I'm saying, you guys, we got to make decisions. We can't keep kicking the can down the road. So with that being said, Clerk Key, call the roll so we can move forward.
Now, see, she doesn't understand. Well, she does understand, but there's a difference between the trustees and her. While even though they have their issues, she still understands that we still got to do the business. So she thinks that she can take slick shots, take her say her little slick jabs and all that, and still take care of the business. They're not capable of that. They haven't been professional enough. I mean, professional long enough to be able to still take care of the business while they mad at you. Can't stand you right now, but we got to work on this together. So let's do this real quick. Let's get the job done. It become, I don't want to work with you. You know what? I'm not staying here today. Let's see if you can do this by yourself. Since I know you need me to do it. So I'm leaving. And it'd be like, you're not hurting me when you do this. You're hurting everybody else. And that's where she beats them every time. That they're not able to do that. They're not able to do that.
and then it has to dry. And then you have that little sour smell in Village Hall. All I'm saying, you guys, we got to make decisions. We can't keep kicking the can down the road. So with that being said, Clerk Key, call the roll so we can move forward. With those two items removed from the vote.
Trustee Steve,
Aye.
Trustee Norwood,
Aye.
Trustee Belcher,
Aye.
Trustee Holmes,
No.
Trustee Brown,
Aye.
Trustee House.
And a new agenda.
House, Trustee.
Somebody
House.
Mute your phone. Trustee House, waiting on you.
You're muted.
Trustee House said
I
he
don't
was
know
moving
if
to.
he's having problems.
Yeah, he said he was had to switch his devices. One of his devices went dead.
Okay, and I just like to add to this one. I moved downstairs because I needed space for my new employee, the deputy clerk, because my office was not large enough to hold both of us.
Okay, so moving on to new business. On this agenda, it says letter A, we're gonna remove that item. And we're gonna move on to item B. Can I have a motion to adopt and approve the preliminary estimate of the 2021 property tax levy collected in 2022 in accordance with the Truth in Taxation Law of Illinois? And I'm gonna give the floor to Attorney Bazat.
Good evening, everyone. I'll be brief. There is a statutory requirement under the Truth in Taxation Law that the village approve an estimate of the annual levy. I don't have the amount in front of me. I do apologize. Chris, if you've got that amount and you could read it in the record, that would be great. But this is just a procedural requirement that every taxi, let's say every municipality has to do in Illinois to properly pass your tax levy. The village has not done this in the past. It should have. And we just want to ensure that the proper protocols and procedures and state laws are followed. Chris, are you on?
Yes.
Can you give that amount?
The tax levy dollar amount for the operating levy is $10,605,069.
And Chris, that is less than, oh, thank you. Yeah, $10,605,069. And Chris, that is less than 105% of last year's levy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And that's everyone, that's it. It's a statutory requirement. I'm just asking that you do pass it in accordance with state law.
Any discussion? Okay, Clerk, can you call the roll? Oh,
Excuse me, Mayor, I have one question. Jason is still-
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can I make one more statement, Trustee? You can change it after this date. You just can't go over the 105%, but you can reduce the amount. You can reduce it. You just can't go over the 105%. But Trustee, you had a question. I'm sorry. I forgot to add that.
Trustee House needs to be unmuted. That's all. I'm sorry. He's not able to get, he's trying to get in via phone.
He can unmute himself.
I'm gonna try to do. I don't know if this is gonna work.
No, Ontario will have to help him.
Okay.
If he can't unmute, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't unmute him.
He got to unmute himself. That's what I thought. Trustee House, you got to press the unmute button.
Yeah, there's nothing that can be done on this end. We tried.
I just sent him a request to unmute, so.
Okay, he said he messaged you, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay, any other questions as it relates to this so we can keep it moving? Okay, is there a motion in a second? Trustees,
I make a motion to pass. So move. The motion is so move to pass.
Okay.
Second.
There's motion and second. Call the roll, Clerk.
Trustee Steve?
Aye.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee House, are you on?
I'm Becky and I.
Okay, so Trustee House, I want to go back and get your vote on old business, request for approval of items on 12.8.1 through 22, with the exception of items 6 and 7.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on to item C. Motion carries. Moving on to item C. Is there a motion to adopt and approve a human resource employment background screening policy? So the reason why I put this on the agenda is to make sure we do not drop the ball with any future hires as it relates to making sure we have a background check. I'm asking the board to support me in this policy as it relates to having a background check on all future applicants. Is there a motion to approve this policy and procedures?
I have a question. This is Trustee Brown.
Would you guys like the motion before we get into discussion? Nobody want a motion? Okay.
I make a motion. I'm sorry. This is Trustee Belcher. I'm motioning.
All right. Is there a second?
I motion.
Okay. There's a motion and second. Discussion. Trustee Brown.
Okay, from the previous employers, I guess the ball has been dropped a long time ago, back and forth. Some employees had background checks and fingerprints, some didn't. So is it a certain position? Is it all positions, or how are we doing it?
So it would be all positions in my book that gets a background check. It shouldn't be some over others, because to me that's discrimination. I think that everyone moving forward should have a background check.
Okay, well, from talking to some of the employees, they did have background checks and fingerprints. So who decides who gets a background check and who doesn't?
So no one decides, because everybody thinks it's on me. So we have an HR department, just so I can clear it up for the record for the residents and also for the Board of Trustees. All I do is if somebody tell me they're looking for employment or would like to work for the Village of Dolton, they will go and see HR, or they'll go on our website, see what jobs are available. They'll come in and apply. Once she does an interview with them, she then will send them out for screening. So I thought that everybody gets a background check that works for us. So it hasn't been past practice. So I didn't know that. I'm thinking that it's just common sense that that's what everyone does, but it was not. So the way to fix the problem that we have right now is to basically put something on the books to state that we will do background checks. Because right now we have nothing that tells us we must do background checks.
Okay, will there be a form stating that the person has to sign that they did have a background check?
Well, I wouldn't know. I'm not legal. Legal will have to tell me that. I don't know how that go.
We'll prepare a form. And obviously the first step is passing the policy. And then the second step, we could prepare a form. We would circulate to that form after the policy is prepared, consistent with the policy.
Okay, so what about the people that we have hired? Nobody has a background check, I'm sure.
Well, the people that we have hired, whether it's from when I came in or whether it's past administration, no one.
Speaking of past and present.
Right.
Speaking of both.
So what I'm considering to do is to move forward with any new hires. I wouldn't put nobody under a microscope because of politics or because of us messing up. Me, I would do it as it relates to all new hires. That's what I would start at. All new hires.
Okay. I wouldn't say it'd be politics. The right thing should have been done. Even back in the past, everybody that comes in to any position should have a background check, or a fingerprints if that's what you do. But everybody moving forward, any HR person knows everybody needs a background check. How this slipped through the cracks behooves me, but everybody should have had a background check.
Mm-hmm.
That's just crazy. You're bringing people in, no background check. Who does that?
Yeah. Well, you sound like me. I was shocked to know that as well. I did not know that because I don't do processing paperwork or process the employee. So when you found out is when I found out. So any other comments?
Well, definitely when he gets that document prepared, I definitely would like to review it.
Sure.
We'll have it for the cow.
Okay. He said he can have it for the cow for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anyone else?
Yeah, may I be recognized?
Sure. Go ahead, trustee.
Yeah, I think we're moving in the right direction with this. I think that was the right call and decision to make to move forward to make sure this is solid, not only for protection of the elected official, but protection for the citizens in Dolton and the residents here to know who's being hired and what's behind. But thanks for putting this forward.
No problem. Anyone else? All right, can you call the roll?
Well, Mayor, can I be recognized on this?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, I'm broke up a little. So forgive me if I repeat a little of Trustee Brown. I know our employment application already had on there that we do background checks and criminal. Will this policy be retro to people hired from the beginning of the administration through now? Is one question, and then the second is, in the event that something does come up on the background, what will be the follow through? What will be the follow up action?
So as it relates to the background stuff, I'm basically saying that any new hires moving forward as of today, we will continue to do. Anybody that's background is already out there circulating via email, text, social media. So people information is out there. I will not destroy anyone's lives in that manner. So I'm stating that moving forward, we will do all background checks on everyone. Any other questions? Okay, can you call the roll, Clerk Key?
Trustee Steve,
Aye.
Trustee Norwood,
Aye.
Trustee Belcher, Trustee Belcher,
Aye.
Trustee Holmes,
Aye.
Trustee Brown,
Aye.
and Trustee House.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Right, letter D was related to the bonds that is being pulled. It will be on the CAL meeting. Next we have, is Scott on here? I don't see Scott, but okay, so next we have can I have a motion to approve the emergency purchase of a rooftop HVAC unit for the Old Village Hall Payment Center? So this was brought to my attention this week as it relates to Scott going to make sure that we didn't need any service on any of our heating units. So he stated that this one was going out and we needed to do emergency purchase. Then stated that it was out about 30 weeks, I believe, village administrator. I know he talked to you and I. So he was stating that we need to basically approve one so that they can order it, so it can come in time before it get too cold over there at the Old Village Hall Payment Center. So basically we was asking for approval to move forward with this. Is there any questions? And Scott, are you on here? I don't see your name. Dorothy, is Scott on here? Dorothy.
I do not see him on here.
Does he have is there a price with this?
Yeah, he stated it was $11,000.
And that's from one vendor or multiple?
I don't know that answer because he did that this week, like literally last minute. And I think he just got a phone conversation. I don't even think it's in writing as of yet. It can be pulled. If you guys don't want to vote on it now, y'all can vote on it later, but y'all have to give him an answer so he can go spend the money because he would need a check to go pay for it. So that's why it's on this agenda as emergency.
I would need a price. I can't speak for any other trustee. I would need a price.
I gave you a price, $11,000.
Does he have any other vendors? Just that one or no?
It's just this one. I don't know how that worked. Are you getting Scott on the phone?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. But trustee, because it came up as an emergency and the vendors had to come out and go up on the roof, he had two to come out today. One successfully got their quotes to Scott before the meeting, which was 11,000. The other was not able to, but he felt that they were going to be around in the same range.
Thank you.
Can I be recognized, please?
Go ahead, trustee.
Okay. For this one, I don't understand emergency. What are like kind of the consequences? I would generally be more comfortable if we had like documentation in front of us. So if we want to wait until we get documentation, what could be the potential? What's the downfall of holding off? What could happen?
From what I was told, he stated that the heat doesn't work over in the building. So that's how it ended up on this agenda to talk about. And I told him to hurry up and get quotes so you guys will know how much we were spending. You do know we have a vendor over in the building, so I really don't want them not to have heat. But again, I'm willing to, as long as you guys respond in the email, and then y'all can just deal with it on Monday. But it really do need to be addressed. So we can do that if you like.
If we can do that on Monday,
okay, that's fine. Every board member.
I'm okay moving forward for this. If the board is, I'm okay moving forward.
Okay, so you okay with moving forward? Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, man. I just have a question. What would it come from out of the budget?
We have what is it? Remodel of Village Hall. I don't know the line number. Chris, you know the line number for that? For remodeling Village Hall?
01-12-825.
That's the line item it will come out of.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
I'm okay. One more question
No
for
problem.
Chris. Chris,
Okay,
what's the amount that's in there present?
currently, one moment.
I think it was 36,000 left. While we waiting on Chris, go ahead, Trustee Steve.
I'm okay with waiting until Monday. We can get to talk to Scott, and we can make sure we respond towards email. I'm okay with that.
Okay. And then Trustee Norwood, you want to move forward today? You want to wait till Monday?
I could wait till Monday.
Okay.
And hear from Scott.
Okay.
But for the most part, I'm
Trustee Brown.
I'll do the same as well. Like I said, I just can't see why. Like I said, everything is always rush. Again, before they moved in there, I thought a inspection was done on their property, but I'll wait till Monday as well.
Yeah, and it was an inspection done on the property. At the time, it was hot. So the AC units, everything was done for that. Now, what Scott normally does, because he's maintenance, he goes around to all our properties, whether it's Firehouse 1 or 2, police station, Village Hall, payment center, and things of that nature. Now he's checking all the heat in all the locations. So that's kind of where that's at. So Scott really does a good job of making sure that everything is working. And he normally put a Band-Aid on a lot of stuff, which it's Scott. Oh, and then two, I just want to address that when you say everything rush, some things are emergencies. So that will come up over time. It ain't that we trying to put something over someone's eyes. It's just that some things are emergencies. All right, Scott, you got the floor.
Good evening, Mayor, Trustees, Village Clerk. Yeah, I was going through the unit. We have there's 2 units up there. This one's has a cracked heat exchange. It's went out on me numerous times. It's not safe to run. I really do have to get this fixed. I let the previous administration know that these units were on their last leg 2 years ago. I have got some quotes. The one that I got in, they rushed out today was $11,700. We do have the money in the building construction. There still is $65,000 left that I talked to today about. I just would like to start the process to get this because they are 38 weeks out on 38 to 46 weeks out on the Lennox. We're trying right now to get a carrier unit, which I could probably get it a lot quicker.
Okay. Any questions for Scott, or did that clear a lot of concerns up for many? Do anybody got questions or?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, so are we still waiting till Monday, or are we moving forward on a vote, or what would the board like to do? Okay, well, then I ask for a motion, then y'all just take it from there. Can I have a motion? Can I have a?
I still want to wait till Monday if you can give us the other two quotes, Scott. I don't think I heard.
Like I said, I'm working on those now. But like I said, I know the one company that comes out, they're usually about $3,000 to $4,000 higher than temperature. And then I'm waiting on Rich's quote. I might be able to get a little cheaper. But like I said, it's the process now of trying to get the materials because all these companies are held up right now with anything as far as the big units like this. They're all on back order.
Okay, so if we can get a little cheaper, let's just see Monday and see what you come up with.
Not a problem. My main concern, though, like I said, we'll work on it Monday, but we cannot put this back because there is tenants in that building that's occupied it, and if that goes out, there is no heat at all in that building.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
Okay, so next on the
Mayor Zadell.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, so next on the agenda is, can I have a motion to approve appointment of an Assistant Director of Emergency Services Disaster Agency, which is considered or called ASDA. Yours. Chief McCain.
Good evening, Mayor. How are you? Madam Clerk, trustees, department heads, and the residents of the Village of Dolton. Tonight, I have Don Rush, who is our current Director of Emergency Management at ESDA. We'd like to bring on a gentleman named John Howard IV, who is very versed in emergency management and would probably help our program move along a lot quicker with some of the skills that he has and some of the context that he has as we extend the ESDA program with emergency management as well as Department of Homeland Security. So I'd like to yield the floor to Director Rush, please.
Well, good evening, Mayor, Board, and any residents who may be listening this evening. We appreciate the time you've given us this evening, but we just want to go a brief interview, and I have Mr. John Howard IV on with me. He can give a brief synopsis of what was known as ESDA and now is the Emergency Management Agency / Homeland Security. Excuse me, the screen here. So John's with me now, so I'm going to yield the floor to John. If you can go ahead, sir. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can everyone hear me clearly? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
All right, good to see everyone again. Just to reiterate what we've discussed before at last, I think a few meetings about it, the existing agency, ESDA, which is no longer classified as ESDA, it's a Homeland Security and Emergency Management Agency. And some of the things that we want to bring to Dolton is having to be the destination for other municipalities, as well as focus on the Homeland Security and emergency management duties that we would be performing in the city of Dolton or village of Dolton in multiple areas. Homeland Security is supposed to be a protection for threats, terrorist threats, domestic or non-domestic. The emergency management side will handle any disasters, natural or man-made. Will also support the fire and police departments in the need of different areas. We'll have multiple units. These units will be supporting different areas of police, fire department, and even the public works department as well, depending on what happens. So I don't want to I know there's a limited time. I don't want to take up too much time, but that's it in a nutshell.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
Any questions, trustees? Okay, can you call the roll, Clerk Key?
Sure. Trustee Steve?
Aye.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
And Trustee House?
Aye.
Motion passed.
All right, thank you so much. Welcome aboard. Next, moving on to, Terry, I'll be ready for citizens address. I'll just make one statement and then we can move forward.
Hey, thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome, anytime. Basically, I just want to let everybody know that myself, including the Board of Trustees, will work on mending our relationship. I know things can look and be a little shaky, which they are. I admit to that, but I do see hope for us in the future, and I just want the community to know that I am willing to work on that as long as they are willing to work on it. It takes two to tangle. It can't be just me willing and they not. So long as they will come to the bridge and amend what's broken, I think that we will all get on one accord. I do hope and pray that we'll see some light in the near future. Next, I just want to keep announcing and let people know that the job fair was held at Thornridge High School. And basically it was for people that actually had issues such as background friendly, which I love all the vendors that came out. We had our railroad CSX out there. They hired Dolton residents, which that's who it was for, but it also hired any other people or persons that came out. And then we had Amazon, and you guys know that Amazon is currently located in Matson, and then they just opened their other facility over in Markham. So Markham site did come out to hire residents on the spot. So I do hope that many of you took advantage of that, because I saw a lot of faces. Majority of it was community, and some of it was outside of our community. I love the fact that when you came out, a lot of people hired you because people are really in need of bodies for their establishment. So I'm just happy to say that was great. And I announced the Halloween trunk or treat, and that was great. When I say over 300 residents came out with their kids, when I say kids came out, they came out. We went live a couple times, so you kind of see the footage there. And I want to thank the Corvette Club for coming out and giving candy and having tricks and things in their trunk. That was just a whole lot of fun. Again, I was a Cruella, and my daughter was 101 Dalmatians. She's one of the Dalmatians. So I was part of the environment, which was dressed up in a costume and have a lot of fun. I want to thank Trustee Holmes for coming out and supporting the event as well. Andrew Holmes was just Andrew Holmes. I said, where your costume at? He said, well, I'm going to be me today. I said, okay, it's all good. So that was a lot of fun. And last but not least, I just want to announce that the holiday decoration competition for your homes is going on right now. So I advise everybody to get your decorations ready and come on out and decorate the homes before it gets too cold, especially with your little ones. I want to take my daughter through Dolton and see Christmas trees and Christmas lights. And I know it's a little rough residence because everybody kind of scared to have the window open. Because what I remember growing up in Dolton is you leave the window open just a little bit, but now it's kind of like hard to leave the window open at all because you don't want nobody peeping through your window, you know, like little stuff like that. But I am happy to say that I want us to become a community again, because growing up here, it was all about family. It was family oriented. That's why we moved to Dolton, because of all the wonderful things we had to offer. And I think with me as your leader and the Board of Trustees that we can actually bring that back to fruition. my goal for next year is for us to come into the new year as one band, one sound, and also to make sure that we can actually see what our vision is for the year and let you guys know a plan as us overall together and not separate. That's my goal for my New Year's resolution. Next, I want to announce before I forget, because I will forget this. We have now a water bill amnesty program that will start this Monday because the Board of Trustees, everything just went through. It will go from Monday, November 8th, and it will end on Tuesday, December 7th. It's for residential and non-residential. So basically how it works is get your penalties deducted and avoid shutoffs by paying your water bill in full or setting up a payment plan during the 30 days of this amnesty program period. You can also do payment plans. You must come to Village Hall to set it up and pay it by auto debit, so which means it'll come off your debit card automatically, or you can use your checking or bank card to avoid a check being used. It's 10% down for residential and 20% down for non-residential. So normally that's like your business district. So that's the payment plans. So please come out and take advantage of this wonderful opportunity to not have penalties, to not pay any fees. And then also you can pay in full, deduct penalty amount and pay online, mail, or pay at Village Hall. Those are your other outlets to how you can pay to make sure you get this. For further information, please contact Village Hall, 708-849-4000. Again, 708-849-4000, or go to the Village website, vodolton.org. Again, that's vodolton.org. Again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys for coming on. Ontario, can you go
One
on?
question, Mayor, one question.
Sure,
You said
sure.
November the 8th through December the 7th?
Yes, Monday starts Monday, November 8th through Tuesday, December 7th. 30 days.
Okay. All right, thanks.
All right.
Hey, one more thing. If you one band, one sound, I like the quote. Just want to say that.
You're really being funny, huh? See, when I be nice, look. Okay, all right. Well, I'm glad you like it. So hopefully now we will talk more. Trustee Steve, I'm gonna ring your doorbell tonight, so let me in. Next, citizens address. Ontario, we're ready for you. Ontario.
I'm here. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to unmute myself. All right. So we got quite a bit of questions tonight. I'm going to try to address everything that's marked with citizens address. From Mr. Henry Ellis. He actually asked this question on November 1st, 2021 at the previous board meeting. Mr. Ellis asked, in addition to seeking funding for the railroad overpass, what is the status of the village seeking funding to solve the flooding sewer problem throughout our town? I think the flooding issues are affecting more residents opposed to those that have to wait a few extra minutes for the train to pass. Second question from Ms. Sharice, excuse me. She has quite a few, so I'm gonna kind of read them, the ones I caught. Does the payroll approval consist of the $10,000 raise for public works supervisor? Second question, does the payroll approval consist of, why is the chat records from Riley Rogers era as mayor unavailable for review, particularly the chat from 2020 and beyond? Ms. Marie J. Is Mr. Lavelle Redmond still working at the Village of Dolton? Ms. Trina Downs asked quite a few questions as well. I'm gonna try to get through the ones I caught. How many bonds were issued already to pay Homewood disposal before and now? Why now? She also asked who slept overnight at the Village credit card at the Hilton, downtown Hilton, Chicago. Do the trustees questions why Homewood disposal is not being paid? Why is there a $1.4 million bond on the table for Homewood disposal when it could be $1.4 million bond for the new fire station on New Village Hall? Hold on. Ms. Patricia K says, will the trustees get background checks too? Patricia K, wasn't the trustee, Belcher's the campaign manager of the Markham police person who did the PPP fund? Cherie asked citizen address, does Mr. Lavelle Redmond still use the black unmarked police cars? Those are the questions I was able to capture. If any other questions need to be addressed, please email me at communications@vodolton.org.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ontario. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is that a second? Anybody want a second?
Second.
Who was that? Clerk?
Second.
Trustee Belcher. Okay. Clerk, you on mute.
I'm sorry, who's second?
Belcher.
Okay, got it. Okay, Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Steve?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Trustee House? I think House got knocked out. Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 7:03 p.m.
All right. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night, everyone. All right. Well, we see how this one went. We're going to be moving on to the next one tomorrow. I'm getting out of here. Be on the lookout for the Sarah Boone trial. That's going to be going down Monday. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I appreciate y'all. I'm getting out of here. See y'all again. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. It was interesting. It was interesting. As you know, moving forward, it's only gonna go. It's just gonna get more and more interesting. You know. So salute to y'all and thank you guys for coming out. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Take care. See y'all on the next live.